So we're back and looking at subject-verb agreement for part 2 of our video series. So now we'll take a look at some other weird exceptions that we have to the subject-verb agreement that sometimes show up on the SAT. So let's talk about some of the tricky subjects like all, any, most, none, and some. Well, these are actually both singular and plural. They're both. That's true, French Prince. Seriously, say what? I want you to remember this, that this is the only time that you must consider the interrupting prepositional phrase. When you come across a word like all or any or most or none or some, they oftentimes will travel with a prepositional phrase to kind of clarify, is it being singular or is it being plural? So if I said all of the marching band members is or are tired from band camp, I see the word all, and I have to say, well, it's both singular and plural, so what's it referring to? Well, it travels with this prep phrase members. Members is plural, so I get to use the word are. But if I said all the marching band is or are bored with the same old routines, here again is that word all. This time it travels with the word band, and band is a collective noun, and therefore it's treated as something being singular, and therefore I would say is. So both prepositions of prepositions, both pronouns of all, we call them indefinite pronouns. Both alls can be both singular and plural, but we have to consider that word members or band to determine really which verb we're going to use. But this is the only time we get to with these 5 special words when we have to consider the prep phrase. Let's do another example. Was or were any of the ham loaf eaten? Well, no, there wasn't because ham loaf's awful. Here's this word any, and any once again is singular or plural. So I have to consider my prep phrase, which is the word ham loaf. And ham loaf is a singular item, so therefore we'd say was any of the ham loaf eaten. If I said is or are any of the cocktail weenies left over from the party, I'm not sure, maybe I'm hungry today. I can see the word any, and then I look for what it's referring to, and any's referring to weenies. And so weenies is plural, so I'm going to use are and say, are any of the cocktail weenies left over from the party? The answer is no, because cocktail weenies are amazing, I suppose. Now, we have to be careful, though, not to confuse this with what we've already learned. All right. So think about our part 1 of our video series. If I say most of us need strong coffee to get going in the morning, and if I said each of us needs strong coffee to get going in the morning, you notice I changed the verb from need to needs. Well, the first one gets the word need because of the word most. And as we just learned, the word most is one of these 5 words that we have to consider the prepositional phrase, and us is plural. So therefore we use the word need as a plural verb. But when I get down here and it says each of us needs, the reason I get to use the word needs is because it goes back to the word each. And each is singular. So even though it has of us there, that's just a trap. The real subject is the word each, and each is always singular no matter what travels with it. So this is the kind of the tricky stuff that the SAT will throw at us, that we want to make sure that we know our rules and we know how to apply those rules to find the correct verb.